past is a graveyard, a collection of ghosts that linger and whisper in the back of your mind. People love to cling to it, don't they? As if rummaging through the ashes of what once was will somehow spark life again. But that's the sick joke. The past is dead, and all you're doing is dragging corpses around, trying to breathe life into things that were never meant to last. Those moments, those people, those failures and victories, they're gone, turned to dust. And still, you go back, scratching at old wounds, trying to rewrite a story that's already burned its last page. There's a comfort in it, isn't there? A twisted sort of solace in revisiting what's familiar. Even if it's rotten, it keeps you from moving forward, keeps you from confronting the emptiness ahead. The future is a void, unpredictable and terrifying, while the past is safe, even in its pain. But that's the trap, because every time you step into those memories, every time you reach for what's already lost, you lose another piece of now. The present slips through your fingers while you dance with ghosts. But here's the truth that no one wants to face. The past is a tomb, and no one lives there. Those memories, those fleeting moments of happiness or regret, they're illusions, static images burned into your mind. But the people who shared them with you, gone. The person you were in those moments, gone. And yet, you obsess over it. You cling to it like it's a lifeline, dragging yourself deeper into the grave, expecting something to change, as if you could rewrite history with enough longing, enough regret. But history doesn't bend for anyone. It's carved in stone, indifferent to your desire to relive it. People spend their lives staring backward, trapped in an endless loop of what-ifs and if-onlys. They think they can find answers there, some sort of closure or meaning. But the past gives nothing back. It's a black hole that swallows time, drags you into its darkness, and spits you out the same, weakened, diminished. And every time you go back, it tightens its grip. It pulls you further from the only thing that matters, the present, the now, the moment where life actually exists, where choices still have weight, where the future can still be shaped. The past is static. It's a picture on a wall, fading, cracking. No matter how long you stare at it, how much you beg it to change, it never will. The more you revisit it, the more you feed into the delusion that it holds any power over you. But the power has always been in your hands. The future trembles at your fingertips, waiting for you to let go of the past and claim it. But as long as you're standing in that graveyard, clutching at bones and memories, the future waits in vain. And the past laughs. It wants you there. It loves nothing more than to pull you into its web, to trap you in nostalgia, in regret. It thrives on your need to rewrite it, to cling to it, because the longer you stay there, the less you become. A shell, living for shadows that no longer care about you. The past has already forgotten you, while you cling to it like a lost lover, trying to breathe life into its cold, unfeeling form. It's a game, a twisted game that only ends when you decide it does. But here's the truth, the harsh, undeniable fact. No one lives in the past. It's an empty house, with the doors bolted shut, the windows blacked out. You can bang on the walls all you want, scream into the void until your voice cracks. No one is there to hear you, not the people you lost, not the opportunities you missed, not the person you used to be. They've all moved on, into the wind, into oblivion. And you're the only one left, haunting the halls of a life that doesn't exist anymore. All negativity is caused by an accumulation of psychological time and denial of the present. People poison themselves with it, allowing the past and the future to take root in their minds, until the present, the only moment that truly exists, is choked out. They drag their regrets from yesterday and their anxieties about tomorrow into every moment, suffocating themselves under the weight of things that no longer matter or haven't even happened yet. It's a sickness, a self-inflicted torment. Because the present is where power lives. It's the only place where you can act, where decisions carry weight, where life is real. Unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, all forms of fear are caused by too much future. People constantly spin webs in their heads about what might be, about what could go wrong, what dangers lie ahead. But that's the trick. The future isn't real. It's a projection, a shadow that only has power when you allow it to. It pulls you forward, drags you into a state of paralysis, worrying about things that haven't even touched you yet. All that fear, that anxiety, it's an illusion, a nightmare conjured by your own mind to keep you from seeing the present, from feeling the ground under your feet right now. And the more you live in that future, the more you disconnect from the only thing that matters, the present. The present doesn't ask for your fear. The present demands action, commands attention. Every moment spent worrying about the future is a moment where you forfeit your own power. You become a slave to what might happen, rather than a master of what is happening. And in doing so, you give away your ability to control anything. Fear of the future shackles you, binds you in chains made of uncertainty. But the present is sharp, focused, real. It's where you can fight, can conquer, can bend the world to your will. Everything else is smoke, but the past is even worse. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, all forms of non-forgiveness. These are the chains that people forge out of memories. The weight of every misstep, every failure, every betrayal. They carry it with them, as if clinging to that pain will somehow give them control over it, as if replaying the moments of suffering will somehow rewrite the story. But the past is dead, a graveyard of moments that no longer exist except in your mind. And yet people cling to it, dragging the corpses of their mistakes, their sorrows, into every new day. Too much past is poison. Guilt over things that cannot be changed. Regret over paths not taken. It's a sickness that feeds on your present, leaching it of any vitality, any joy, any chance for redemption. But here's the trick. The past has no power except the power you give it. Every moment spent in regret is a moment wasted, a moment where you are willingly surrendering to ghosts. Resentment and bitterness are chains that bind you to a life that no longer exists, keeping you from embracing the only moment that does, the now. All that anger, all that sorrow, all those grievances, they're dead weight. They keep you locked in a prison of your own making, while the present slips through your fingers, untouchable. The present is the only place where you are free, free from the future's shadows and the past's ghosts. It's the only place where you can act, where you can make decisions that matter. Every moment you spend outside of it, whether fearing the future or lamenting the past, is a moment where you are powerless. People cling to their pain, to their fear, thinking it gives them control. But it's a lie. Control only exists in the present, in the here, in the now. Everything else is an illusion, a trick of the mind that robs you of your strength. But most people never learn. They wander between past and future, never truly existing, always haunted, always afraid. They allow time, psychological time, to devour them until they become nothing more than shadows themselves, forever looking backward or forward, never living in the moment. The ones who escape it, the ones who understand that the present is all that matters, they are the ones who are truly free. Because to live in the present is to live without fear, without regret. It's to act with purpose, to carve your name into the world, while others are busy chasing the ghosts of time. Let the past crumble to dust. Let the future fade to mist. What matters is now. The present is where the game is played, where the battles are won, where you shape the world with your own hands. Everything else is distraction. And those who master the present, they master everything. Because while others are busy fearing what's to come, or mourning what's been lost, the one who stands in the moment, who owns the now, rules. The present is the battlefield, the only place where you have real power. Every move, every decision, every strike happens here, in the now. People waste their energy fighting shadows from the past, or trying to predict every twist of the future. But while they're lost in time, the present slips through their hands like water. And that's where the real tragedy lies. Life doesn't happen in the past or the future. It happens in the now. And for those who can harness it, who can seize the moment and make it their own, the world becomes something entirely different. It bends, reshapes itself to their will, because they are the ones living in reality, while everyone else is trapped in their own illusions. But to live in the present requires courage. It requires facing what is, without the comforting lies of what was, or the fantasies of what could be. Most people hide from the now because it's raw, unfiltered, and relentless. The present asks for action, for decisions, for risk. It demands that you commit to yourself, to your choices, without the safety net of the past to catch you, or the false promises of the future to soothe you. To live in the now is to live dangerously. To stand on the edge of every moment, fully aware that nothing is guaranteed except this breath, this heartbeat, this flicker of time.